Thank you so much, Abhishek, for taking out time for a small vlog that we've been pushing you for, in fact, for a very long time. Having said that, I think the first question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pop in, burning like this, ain't checking my wrist. Third is my shift. Rolling all night like flex, we look at the clips, these credits are lit.
So I think one very important question, which is relatable, I think the branded residency spurt, which has been so prevalent in Dubai for a very long time, I think that needs to be addressed from a developer, which is Danube's point of view. That what is your take, and is that a white glove service adding value, or are you kind of buying that branded residency kind of a spurge that is happening now and then?
So I'll ask you a simple question here, okay? This is a very funny question. A lot of people ask me as well, and it's a funny answer to it. But this is how I look at branded residences. You have a shoes which is basically a normal shoes with a LV shoes, right? Now, why do you go for LV shoes?
Because of the brand, because of the snob value,
Right. All right.
and you want to be in that 1% of the world who's
Right.
enjoying that facility.
Facilities.
Correct.
Now, for example, what we've done is you go to an LV store, you have 2,000 dirhams in your pocket, all right, and you like a bag which is roughly about 10,000 dirhams. Will you buy it?
I can't.
Okay. Now, what if LV gives you an option that you can take this, pay me 2,000 every month for 5 months, for example. Will you buy it now?
Absolutely.
Now, that is exactly what Danube is doing, to be honest. What I feel is basically when you look at branded residences been doing and performing really well in today's market. Now, obviously, when you talk about what we've seen is all branded residences that you find in Dubai and by multiple developers, there's one thing that we saw in terms of which is a common practice that has been done, and that is a very aggressive payment plan. We have multiple brands association that have been done with multiple developers here in Dubai, and everyone's come up with a very aggressive payment plan. Unlike Danube has been known for our 1% payment plan all across. So our journey started off with affordable to luxury to ultra luxury to branded residences. Now we've got bigger brands than us, which gives you not just traction coming in from Dubai market, but comes in from the universal market as well.
Correct.
And with our typical 1% payment plan, that was something which is a niche that we really found out. And that has been performing really well for us and doing wonders for us as well. Wherein even a normal common man can actually afford a branded residences. So if you look at my projects which were done in Bays 102 or Breeze for that matter in Maritime City, we associated with a brand known as Dolce Vita, which is an Italian brand as well, which does into fully furnishings and fittings for the entire house. And likewise, the new project Greens, if you look at it as well. By the way, all of these projects that we're talking about were selling at 3,500 dirhams plus square footage.
Correct.
Is
Correct.
what we are selling those as.
Absolutely.
But looking at the new project, which was Greens by Danube, we're merely selling at 1,450 to 1,500 dirhams per square feet, and in that as well.
That's the kind of
Exactly.
amount we need to cover
Exactly.
from an investor point of view or an end user point of view.
Now, for example, when you moved in, I'll have ask you one more simple question. You will be very easy to manage this as well. When you came down 5-6 years ago to Dubai, right now,
Correct.
to set up the entire house, was it easy for you?
Absolutely not. It was a nightmare. It was 100% a nightmare.
Exactly. Now, what if I tell you that when we come up with fully furnished, branded residences as well, the only thing the house is ready from day one. So the only thing that more or less that you'll have to end up buying as well is more or less a television for that matter or your clothes. That's the only thing what we are known for, because we've been in this market and doing this for the past 34 years now. That's our major core business. We're into building material, right? So I'm not saying that the costing that you're looking at, just in case how much ever you would look at in terms of setting up the house, we would have done it in a fractional of a amount, because we have our connections that way. We have our associations with brands that way, and we've been doing this successfully and being one of the biggest stores here as well under the brand image of Danny Boom. That really helps us and gives us a vintage and our extra edge to our clients as well, or our investors who's buying with us, because he's getting not only the apartment fully furnished, because there's a huge difference, Robin, here when we talk about fully furnished vis-a-vis fully fitted.
Absolutely.
The fully fitted that I'm talking about right now includes your sheer curtains, every single aspect, the center table, rugs. The house is ready from day one. Now, if you look at our new projects, like for example, Breeze for that matter, or even for that matter, if you talk about the latest one, Greens, you're using travertine floorings, and this is as per
Hmm.
2026. So it also has to do a lot with the market trends as well, because see, this is a very dynamic market. Everything changes every 6 months, right? So
Correct.
whatever we're looking at as per 2029 is the updated version, is what you get inside when we talk about fully furnished and fully fitted. And that's an advantage that the investor has from day one. And to be honest, Robin, I've sold a lot of townhouses here in market as well in my previous developments. But one thing that has always been common is a struggle for international buyers to get the entire house fixed,
Correct.
from furniture aspect to
100%.
everything.
I
And
100% agree with
and
you.
when we're looking at it at a marginal cost, because I'm getting the interior designing done, so I know there are no dead space. There is, because the basic agenda of hiring an interior designing, Robin, is basically to make darker areas look brighter,
Hmm.
usage of space. Here, everything is taken care of by a professional for you as well. Now, obviously, you might have a question as well that, the all houses might look same, is what a lot of people, because here the basic agenda is to
Yeah.
address all the questions, right?
Correct.
So this is something that comes to us as well. So what we've done is we've got color schemes as per different palette. So not every house looks same. Every interior that you're looking at can be customized to a certain extent with different shades depending upon the client's requirement. So not every house looks same. So that's an added advantage that you're
Hmm.
getting in, right, when you're getting and buying a property.
I I 100% agree, Abhishek, on your answer, and I think you've addressed a very very important question out here.
Right,
Quickly coming on to my another question,
right.
top five picks of your products.
Mm-hmm.
It does not depend. I would say let's pick it up. So right from a value buying, maybe
Mm-hmm.
a studio,
Mm-hmm.
someone wants to put a foot in the door
Right,
and start earning a little rental income.
right.
What is the starting range, and then those five best picks, because you are from the sales, you're the hardcore,
Right.
I think you're the money making machine for our clients. I mean, that's how I would term you as.
Right.
So which are those five important picks as per
So,
you?
Robin, for me, I have projects which are starting from roughly about 850,000 dirhams,
Mm-hmm.
going all the way till 35 million dirhams as well.
Correct.
Now, this includes in different locations depending upon the client requirement. So, whenever I go and I travel, so basically my profile allows me to travel a lot as well. So, I always say this, and I've always divided into three different projects usually. One project is something for someone to start off fresh, something who wants to just test the waters of the buy and eventually make it into a bigger portfolio.
Correct.
So I would always start with something like a Sarins as a project, to be honest. So someone who wants to start in fresh or new and does not have that much amount of liquidity, you're looking at roughly about 2.5, 2.6 cr payable in a span of just about, or maybe 850,000 to 870,000 payable in a span of 6 to 7 years, because that's
Hmm.
also a very important thing, right? The
Absolutely. Yeah.
concept that we look in the universal market is you pay 100% and you get the handover. But with Danube, you've always known for having post handover payment plans. So we only talk about, we're blessed to talk about be in the industry where we talk about the equity part that's actually going from the client's pocket and not the entire value.
And that's the minimum. I mean,
Exactly.
with Danube,
Right.
I can vouch on it very categorically
Right.
that your equity is, coming out at a smaller pace
Right.
vis-a-vis with, if you want to compare it with the other developers.
Exactly, because for us we have a beautiful 70-30 payment plan wherein the client's equity is always going to be 70%, because right from 71st percent that he's looking out, his property is starting fetching him rent. So the
Correct.
rental is actually covering up majority of your installments. To be honest, in a
And
worst
that's
case,
guaranteed, by the
that's
way. Huh?
guaranteed in a
That's
way.
guaranteed.
So if
If
you
you
look at,
would like to put the number, I think that's
to
very
be
important.
honest, if I have to tell you, I always say it this way. I believe that if you have got the handover of the property as well, you end up getting roughly about 10 to 11% covered from the rental
Lovely.
in the worst case scenarios. I
Lovely.
have seen people making 13-14% as well in different projects that we're looking at, but 10% is the bare minimum that you're looking at right now, which is covered. You end
Hmm.
up paying 2% from your pocket, more or less, in a worst case scenarios.
Correct.
So post handover that you're looking at, which is 30 months, that is roughly about 2.5 years that you're looking at, um, the client end up paying roughly close to 76-77% is his original equity. He's never paid the 100% because the
Hmm.
remaining is all covered by the rent. So a property valued at 1 million, for example, is never paid 1 million. He's always paid 780,000 or maybe an 800,000 dirhams max to max in the worst case scenarios.
And that's why people buy multiples.
Exactly.
That's why people keep buying
And what
one after
happens
the
with
other.
Danube, I've seen a very funny story here is you get so used to paying that 1%, that once it is ready, you don't have to pay anything from your pocket. So you again end up paying a deposit of 20% and you move that 1% because the first property is already paying for itself. And organically you see that, eventually a client holds up a portfolio of roughly about 4 to 5 million bare minimum, 4 to 5 properties as well, depending upon their appetite in a span of 4 to 5 years. Because mind you, in Dubai, we see that the entire break even for a client comes in 7 years.
Hmm.
That's typically the historic data that you've seen, that in 7 years the client recovers his equity, whatever is paid. So in a nutshell, in this 7 years, you end up buying 3 to 4 properties because it's got so used to paying that 1%. And some properties have started paying for itself as well.
Lovely. I think I'll quickly move on to my next question. A lot of my investors or clients would, have a lot of queries.
Right.
So, just to address them or to give them a little comfort,
Right.
do you think at some point in time we can do multiple Zoom sessions, or, as per the, requirement, or maybe a one-on-one or a personalized session? So do you think we are able to kind of jump on a quick Zoom meeting with them and kind of address them? It will be a preempted,
Right.
proper, structured way.
Right.
But in case you think we can kind of do that, and
Obviously.
your thoughts,
Oh,
if you can just give a little elaborative.
obviously. So as I said, I always believe that I've always been a consultant. So at this point of time, today, tomorrow, or 24/7, our field allows us to be in this field 24/7. So come what may be, we're always open for Zoom meetings to address issues, address clients' requirements, make them understand about Dubai real estate in a nutshell. You are a seasoned player out here in this market. You're just being very modest that you need my help, but I'm always available. You know that very well.
Thank you so much.
Not just me, but then I have the entire team which is always there at your disposal whenever, at whatever time that you need it, because we work in different time zones as well, and we understand, because the investment, Robin, for a fact, is not just coming from one part of the world, it's coming from all
Absolutely.
across the globe.
So what are the languages we are kind of proficient in case you want to elaborate?
So for example, if you've got Arabic clients, I have Arabic person in my team. I speak Marathi, I speak Hindi, I speak English. That's something that my regional language. I speak a little bit of Punjabi as well, because half of my motherhood side is basically from Punjab.
Lovely,
So I
lovely.
speak a little bit of Punjabi as well, not much to be
Lovely,
honest, not
lovely.
proficient. I have someone who speaks amazing Gujarati, amazing Bengali. I have Spanish speaker as well, so that's also an added. I have a French speaker. So basically, when we talk about universal, and that's the power of social media. I was just gonna highlight this when we were talking earlier as well. Social media, you never know who's watching where, from which part of the world as well.
100%.
So being a vertical that we're looking at, we always need to look at areas and languages which are always spoken majority of the times as well. So we can always have consultants, and we can always have people talk to you in your regional language as well.
Perfect.
That's something that I am proficient in, but nonetheless, I'm very proficient in English, Hindi, Marathi for that matter, a little bit of Punjabi to be honest.
Lovely. Lovely. I think now it's a time for a rapid fire round,
Sure.
which I would like to
Am I
play
getting my
with
hampers?
you. I think hampers are coming. Hampers will be coming from Dinube, guys. Remember, this is
Sure.
a rapid fire round that I
Sure.
would like to play. So the rules are very simple.
Okay.
We kind of say one word and a relatable connotation to the property is what you are supposed to, maybe a number, or it can be a name, place, or a product. So coming to the first important question, I think everyone knows about it. 1%.
Rizwan Sajan.
Okay, I think that was the easy one.
Right.
Coming on to a value. So word is value.
Okay.
So what is the first thing that comes in your mind when I say value?
Value proposition.
Okay, that's a good one. So now coming on to a delivery. So when I say delivery, what is the first thing that comes into your mind?
With Daniel before time.
Lovely. Okay. Now coming on to a very important question. I think that really will hit the right spot. Fully fitted.
All
When
the
I
new
say fully
projects.
fitted,
The new
so
projects.
okay, I think I'm giving you a lot of
Yeah,
cues
you
which are
basic exactly.
very
You're using all the
easy.
adjectives that are there for any of the Danube sales pitch.
I think okay. So how do I make it difficult now? You give me a thing that I think maybe something. Okay, now let's put it that way. Something a takeaway for my investors, and then I'll come to a very important question for my consultants as well.
Okay.
So first, the investors.
So for investors, good entry points is what we're looking at right now. A very flexible payment plan wherein there's no bank involvement anywhere. It's a structured payment plan, which also because I always believe that when you talk about any bank mortgages or anything, I always have been selling this and telling this as well. In a bank mortgage, there is always two transactions. One is a debit and a credit. There's no human angle to the same as well. But when you talk about a payment plan, you always have a human angle because somewhere down the line on the receiver end, on the other side as well, there is no AI or no person no one as a governing body. There is a human being who's sitting on the other side as well, which is more flexible. So that's the beauty of what Danube I believe is you get more flexibility for an investor as well. And we always look at, as I said initially in the podcast as well, we talk on the equity part. We don't talk on the entire value for a good investor.
So
Yeah.
you have mortgage consultants in the company who can advise whenever it's needed.
We already have, to be honest, but we don't need one, to be honest. So I get a lot of calls, all of these calls that comes in. Do you need any support in terms of mortgage? But then I tell them that working with Danube. I'm the sales head for Danube. So at the end of the day, he's like, "Thank you so much, sir. Do you have a job opening for me left?" Because for us, we don't have any bank involvement because the payment plans are so flexible.
Correct.
The TDS, you've come down from the Indian real estate part as well, where you finish off your mortgages for 20 years, finish it off in 10 years time, and still a lot of things is still coming up. Hidden charges are there. Here you're looking at everything which is crystal clear mentioned to you when you book the unit. The consultant is telling you about even the 1,000 dirhams, 1,093 dirhams to be precise, which is for Okut. So there are no hidden charges here anywhere. It is simple direct payment plans which the developer is funding because as a whole, if you know, Danube is a cash rich company. For us, managing this portfolio without a bank mortgage is very easy.
I think now another one. I think there are a lot of consultants like us
Right.
who are there in the market. What is your takeaway? Because you are the sales head. You've
Right.
been meeting people all throughout,
Right.
different kind of nationalities as well. So what is your takeaway for consultants overall, and how we can add some value to them?
To be honest, getting connected to someone who gives you end-to-end service is the most important key factor out here as well. Because you'll see consultants which are new, you'll see consultants who have been seasoned enough in this market for a very long period of time, and has got a very historic track record. The reason, Robin, you look at people that you work with in every developer in Dubai. These are all old school vintage. This is where we started off the entire thing as well. Working with a vintage comes in with their own experience as well. Because what I always say is, and what I always believe, is you're not just buying a property, you're buying my 14 years of experience or my 15 years of experience, your 20 plus years of experience in this industry as well. So,
Absolutely.
all in all, you're looking at the valued proposition for the client as well. When I said valued proposition, is because you're looking at 35 years of joint experience, yeah, in
100%.
in in, in Dubai real estate, and that is something which will always cushion your clients in different aspects. That's the most important thing. Having the right consultant is the most key factor out here for your property to really appreciate as well, because he'll not be putting you through situations or projects which are just going to be launching with no future, for example. He'll only look at strategic planning for you. He will plan the next 6 years of your investment or next 5 years of your investment, and that is more important as well, because it's just the not the entry point but the exit as well, just in case god forbid you have to look at the worst case scenarios as well, Robin.
100%. No,
Right.
I think it was a very, very insightful discussion.
Right.
I think I am going to engage you with another one very,
Perfect.
very soon.
First
And
of all, let me tell you, this was my first one. I didn't know, but then the comfort level was there, so I think so. We did a fair bit
no,
of
it
job as
was.
well.
I think I really enjoyed it.
Likewise, bro.
I don't
Likewise.
think so. You were sounding so pro. I think you being modest out here that it's your first one, but I think you've done a couple of them. You're not wanting to share the names of
No,
the
no,
consultant
genuinely.
you've been engaging with. Having said that, I
Right.
think thank you so much, Abhishek, for coming for this one. I think this holds a very special position in my heart. You taking out time, giving us that insightful understanding and knowledge. Thank you so much. God bless Chardi Kala. My numbers are written below. You watching Robin Singh from Premium Luxury Residencies. We will keep engaging with Abhishek every now and then. Keep bothering him with these Zoom calls and see you again.
See you. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.